This is a Danish English report on why Greenland remains with Denmark, highlighting the Fox News interview and the contrast between Scandinavian and US social security models. Welcome to Danish-InfoNews TV, January 16th. Today, we take you inside a high-stakes debate shaping the Arctic, Greenland, why it remains part of Denmark, and why the United States' attempts to buy the island will fail. In an exclusive appearance on Fox News, Denmark's Foreign Minister, Lars Rasmussen, explained the historical, political, and social reasons behind Greenland's allegiance to the Kingdom of Denmark, and what makes the Danish welfare system irreplaceable. Stay tuned to understand the facts, the geopolitics, and what this means for Greenlanders and Americans alike. Løkke on Fox News: Greenland will say no to a purchase offer from Trump. Greenland will reject any attempt by the United States to purchase the island, Denmark's Foreign Minister Lars Rasmussen said during a live interview on Fox News, an appearance widely seen as a deliberate and strategic choice given the network's influence over Donald Trump, Republican lawmakers, and conservative voters. Speaking with the Fox News anchor Brad Beer, Løkke underscored the depth of the US-Danish relationship, noting that the two countries have maintained uninterrupted diplomatic ties for 225 years. You will not find another country that, like Denmark, has had uninterrupted diplomatic relations with the United States, Løkke said. The long-standing alliance, he explained, formed the backdrop to a high-level meeting earlier the same day in Washington, D.C., between himself, Greenland's Minister for Foreign Affairs, Vivian Motzfeldt, U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance, and Secretary of State Marco Rubio. The meeting was described as a chance to address sensitive disagreements directly and constructively, rather than through public statements or social media. Clear red lines on Greenland. While Løkke acknowledged that there is often a bit of truth in what Donald Trump says and emphasized his own good personal relationship with the former president, he left no ambiguity about Denmark's position. We have our red lines, he said. This is 2026. You can trade with people, but you cannot trade people. Citing recent opinion polls, Løkke told Fox News that only 6% of Greenlanders want to become part of the United States. When Brad Beer raised a hypothetical scenario in which every Greenlander will be offered $500,000 to join the US, Løkke's response was unequivocal. No, they won't, he said. Quite honestly, there is no chance that the United States will pay for a Scandinavian welfare system in Greenland. You haven't even introduced a Scandinavian welfare system in your own country. That remark became the central takeaway of the interview, and it resets a profound structural difference between the Danish and the American social models. Let's look at what Løkke meant by a Scandinavian welfare system. The Danish welfare system is often regarded as the gold standard of the Nordic model. At its core, in the principle of universalism, welfare is a right of citizenship, not a benefit tied to employment, income level, or private insurance. In practice, this means free healthcare funded entirely through taxes with no insurance premiums and minimal co-payments for essential services. Free education from primary school through university, combined with the SU state educational grant, a monthly stipend paid directly to the students to cover living costs. A strong social safety net including high unemployment benefits and generous parental leave, around 52 weeks shared between parents, designed to prevent life events from turning into financial crisis. A cornerstone of the model is Denmark's famous flex-security labor market system. Employers can hire and fire relatively easy, allowing companies to adapt quickly. Workers, in return, are protected by high unemployment benefits, up to 90% of previous income for low-wage earners, through capped and mandatory retraining and job search programs designed to get them back to work quickly. This system is expensive and relies on unusually high levels of social trust. Denmark funds it through some of the world's highest income tax rates, a flat 25% VAT on most goods and services, and, unlike the US, no separate payroll tax earmarked for Social Security. Everything is paid from general taxation. Let's look at why the US model cannot replace it. Løkke's argument on Fox News was not simply rhetorical. The American welfare system is fundamentally different in both structure and philosophy. Rather than universal benefits, the US system is a patchwork of programs divided into two broad categories. Social insurance such as Social Security, Medicare, and unemployment insurance are programs workers pay into through payroll taxes and later receive benefits from. Means-tested public assistance, including SNAP, food stamps, Medicaid, TANF, and SSI, which are restricted to people below certain income and asset thresholds. In addition, a large share of American welfare operates indirectly through the tax system via credits like the Earned Income Tax Credit and the Child Tax Credit, programs that are politically popular precisely because they are tied to work. Unlike the Nordic model, American benefits often come with strict eligibility rules, work requirements, and benefits cliffs, where a small increase in income can cause a household to lose access to health care or food assistance entirely. Administration is fragmented across federal and state agencies, creating a heavy bureaucratic burden for recipients. In short, even a large one-time payment to Greenlanders could not replicate a system built on lifelong access to health care, education, income security, and active labor market support. Security concerns, but not American methods. Løkke also addressed US concerns about Chinese and Russian interests in Greenland and the Arctic. While he emphasized that Denmark and Greenland share those concerns, he strongly rejected the idea that Greenland is currently exposed to Chinese influence. There are absolutely no Chinese footprints in Greenland, he said, noting that during his time as Prime Minister, he personally blocked all Chinese investment in Greenlandic infrastructure, including when an abundant US military installation was once put up for international sale. Denmark, he added, has invested heavily in Arctic security and operates under a 1951 defense agreement with the United States. Despite this, Denmark has not received any American military request to step up its response in Greenland over the past 20 years. Asked whether he feared a US invasion of Greenland, Løkke replied, "No, at least I hope not, because that would be the end of NATO." The correct path forward, he argued, is closer cooperation with NATO, combining forces rather than unilateral actions. Why Fox News mattered. According to Lars, a journalist with Denmark's public broadcaster, DR, who specializes in US politics, Fox News was the most effective possible platform for Løkke's message. "It is definitely the best and most effective place he could be sitting," Engelbrecht said. Fox News reaches Trump's core voters, Republican lawmakers and Trump himself. And who follows Fox News? Engelbrecht noted. Donald Trump does. Although most American opposes annexing Greenland, Engelbrecht argued that Løkke's appearance served a crucial educational purpose. There are really many people who don't know anything at all about the relationship between Denmark and Greenland, he said. I think Løkke achieved what he wanted, explaining the Danish and Greenlandic perspectives. He also noted that Brad Baer, despite Fox News' conservative orientation, is known for relatively balanced interviews. He's someone you can be interviewed by without being thrown to the wolves. What happens next? Following the Washington meeting, Danish and Greenlandic officials outlined 4 key points. A high-level working group will be established to seek solutions between Denmark, Greenland, and the United States. A fundamental disagreement remains, and the American position is unchanged. The meeting lasted 65 minutes and was described as respectful and constructive. Denmark clearly outlined its red lines but did not receive an apology from the US, despite continued rhetoric about conquering Greenland. At the heart of Løkke's Fox News message was a simple conclusion: Greenland is not for sale, and no amount of money can substitute for a social model built on universal welfare, security, and citizenship rights. Thank you for following Danish-InfoNews TV. For more in-depth coverage of Denmark, Greenland, and international affairs, straight from the source, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Stay informed, stay ahead, and don't miss the latest insights on politics, diplomacy, and the world around us.